Hello again. This is Michelle Blood again. Wow, here we are again. And we are going to go into the more intricacies and maybe a little bit of the history of light. What is light? How are we repatterning our mind? How is this all working? So we're putting affirmations of positive thinking into the treasury of our subconscious mind. It's going so much faster because we're doing it with the musivation method. Our vibration begins to oscillate at a higher frequency. Everyone will tell you that. Every scientist, all the things that I used to teach about many, many years ago hadn't yet been proven through science. Now it has been proven that different thoughts and different things that go on in consciousness do create a different vibration. They've been able to track the brain when people are meditating, that can really meditate, and feel where it's going. Blood pressure going right down when people who really go into samadhi. What is going on there? It's so fascinating. Repatterning the mind through doing the affirmations. But if you want to go deeper, repatterning the mind and release the negativity, the old patterns, well then, I've explained this to our mystical experience people before, mysticalexperience.com, lots of free, awesome videos there for you guys to watch. We have this beautiful diamond floating on this ocean of eternal light, the divine, the creator, the divine light, not some big bloke up in the sky with a beard, this generous giving light, this oscillating light, the Shakti, the kundalini, the creative power of everything. And as we begin to have experiences that are emotional, particularly the ones that are emotional, they go into the subconscious mind and then they end up forming, well, I don't have a kiwi with me today, but let's say an avocado, a bubble around that light. So you end up with all these bubbles of emotion, of anger, of all these different experiences when you had fears, and they end up growing and growing and growing and blocking that diamond, even though it's still part of the ocean, not just floating there, it's part of it, it's liquid, it's diamond. It ends up being blocked by all these little bubbles that are blocking it. You can call it like an ice around it if you want to, or resin, but if we look at it as like, oh, there's this experience, that experience, that experience, that experience, and it's all there, and they're all there ready to trigger your ego, your reaction to people, places, and things. And you don't know why. You think it's intuition when, oh, I just don't like that person. But it could be just simply that that person reminded you of someone that hurt you when you were very young and you don't really recall the person. So you're not seeing correctly. You think you're intuiting something, but it's just a trigger. So whenever you feel reactionary, that is not intuition. So when you're repatterning the mind, we have to not just put the new thoughts in. We want those new thoughts to be there because they're positive and they help us vibrate at a faster, it's a speed, frequency. It's actually something that scientists can actually gauge the speed, the frequency, the vibration. You can feel it. When you go to an enlightened teacher, you feel the frequency. You feel it. Even if you don't feel it at first, eventually you do. It depends on how many bubbles of emotional baggage, or these little bubbles, we have to release them to really repattern the mind. To begin with, we have to bring our oscillation up, and we have to use willpower to do that, and eventually we end up much more positive people, but there'll still be some bubbles left. And there might be more positivity than negativity, but they're still there. We want them to be gone forever, to be dissolved. That's why when we talk about when someone has become free, the kundalini energy, the light, actually is what dissolves and bursts. That's when you do want your bubbles burst. Now, you can these days on YouTube and lots of different things, watch many, many, many different people talk about kundalini energy. However, maybe they're just educated in kundalini energy. Because I remember I had this amazing kundalini, her name is Kundalini, enlightened teacher. And I could feel the Shakti coming from her. When she spoke about the energy of the light, this, which is a vibration. It's a vibration. The light is a vibration. It is what true happiness is. You cannot experience pure joy and peace without that. Everyone has a kundalini rush occasionally. You see a beautiful sunset or you're in love in that moment and you will feel like time has stopped because time doesn't exist anyway. You have all experienced a rush of kundalini. It's not always sitting dormant at the bottom of the spine. And I am going to do another live stream and go into much more detail about, for all of you, about the kundalini and how it really, we're going to do a whole workshop on it coming up, and we'll let you know when. However, just for today, I want you to understand that it is possible to release those reactionary bubbles. They can be burst through the vibration of the light. The light dissolves them. The kundalini energy is the light, the Shakti. They call it like Shiva and Shakti, like female and male. When you get into the educational side of kundalini, and the person has the education and they've studied the history books, but you won't get the experience from them if they haven't awakened. When your kundalini is awakened, then you get the true education of what really went on in the world through a download of direct from the omniscient wisdom of the divine. And you know that you know, and you can see people for who they are without judgment, but always with compassion. You feel, but you don't get over emotional. You never get overexcited. You never get depressed. Yeah, sure, the body can still feel stress and strain because we've still got an organic body that we have to look after. That's why I work out every day, people. However, you have to know that everything is possible for you. Every single thing is possible for you with the light, with the vibration of energy that is a fact now, scientific fact. It works. It can change your life, but you have to begin. You have to begin to want to change. Because sometimes you want to change and you'll go to seminars or teachers and you learn a lot and you get a lot of education and you might feel pumped up a little bit for the day, but then eventually you go down to the original vibration. But you want to keep going into, let's not say up, but a speed. It's a vibratory oscillation. It's a speed, a frequency. And when someone's kundalini is awakened, they are plugged into the divine. And when they transmit light to you, it assists in a way that you can never do it on your own. So I know that all the affirmations and all the things that I've done all my life before I met my teacher got me to that point of being in that vibration, having my heart glow. I was vibrating with joy, but still a little soul sick for God. I only looked in about 34 countries for God. Here it was already within me, but it wasn't fully awakened. So this is something that people don't understand, the power of the kundalini. I mean, if you really do want to look through the history books, the Greeks used to call it the crisis, the crosses. I don't know, remember the exact word of kundalini energy, of when someone became a saint, was awakened, and you could feel it, you could see it. You could see it, which is why the artists used to paint like an aura around them, because you can see the light. But now that we've got like nearly 8 billion people on the planet, it's much harder because all of those thoughts become what, the Hindus and the Buddhists call the Maya, and the collective consciousness of everyone's thoughts on the planet can get very muddy, and they can also get around your diamond. It's not just your thoughts that get little bubbles of emotions, it's other people's as well around you. You're sort of swimming in a little bit of muck there. We want to release all that muck. The light is the oscillation of the divine, which is your truth. Every single one of you can have your kundalini awakened.